Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we are talking about 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie out of Pima County, Arizona. We are at 170 days. Are the Pima County and the FBI, are they stuck? Or are they putting a case together? We're going to talk about all of that and a lot more on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face.
And if you know it,
they called me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my clothes, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Hold up, lights on, chat in the room, another late night and another headline blooming. Coffee gone cold, but the story got heat, and one little detail keep tapping my screen. Coming in clutch, when the timeline bends, we don't just scroll, we connect loose ends. Somebody said, nah, that's probably enough, but the chat said, Justin, we're coming in clutch. Run that back, don't rush that part. Something fell wrong from the very first start. Different day, same shaky excuse, and the math ain't mathing when we check the proof. I'm not here to play detective for fame, I'm here when the story starts changing names. One clip, one call, one post too much, and the whole room knows we're coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, yeah, the facts stay loud. Truth don't hide when we bring the crowd. Screens lit up and the chat don't sleep. We dig real deep where the stories get steep. Pearls in the chat, lights in the back. Somebody better explain why the story went flat. You can dodge one question, maybe dodge two. With the internet clock, what you said don't cue. Wait. Say that again, you said it was there, then it wasn't back then. You said you forgot, but the record got saved. Now the chat's wide awake and the room just changed.
Coming in clutch when it all gets strange, when the facts get buried and the tone starts change. We don't need drama, the truth does enough, that's why they pull up, we're coming in clutch.
Late night crew, yeah, we built this thing. One live stream turned to a whole damn ring. Members in green minds holding it down. Whole chat moving like a small town crowd. No fake hype, no lazy spin, just one more clue and we're back again. If it don't sit right, we don't let it slide. We put the detail right up on live.
Coming in clutch, say it one more time. Whole room locked on the very next line. From the first red flag to the final touch, you know where to be, we're coming in clutch.
When the screen fades out and the night gets still, somebody somewhere knows truth comes real. We'll be right here when the next facts drop. Coming in clutch and we don't just stop.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is July 21st, 2026. It is currently 10:30 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case out of Pima County, Arizona. And there hasn't been a lot recently coming in the Nancy Guthrie case. It's been relatively very quiet, which you can take that either way you look at it. You can think, well, maybe they're building something here, or maybe they just nothing going on. But some news coming out in the Nancy Guthrie case that I feel like it's more worthy, in my opinion, and that is Nancy Guthrie video may have been erased after FBI kept out for days. Kash Patel, FBI director, is saying yes. So we're going to talk about that. And, are we going to, is this kind of on Sheriff Doofy? Also, we're at 170 days of Nancy missing and still no answer. A lot to talk about tonight, guys. Before we get started, if you would be so kind and please do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would consider sharing this live out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. And if you would consider hyping this video, you get 3 hypes a week on YouTube. And if you don't use it, you lose it. It has to be after the live stream, and it's got to be on your mobile device, your phone and or your tablet. Good to see everyone in chat. Hello, Ratui. Thank you giving me your 3 hypes a week. Appreciate you, darling. Kim, good to see you. Christy, Deb, Miss Lisa, hello. Carol, Robin, Connie, Cindy, Linda, Susan, Clippy, Baby Kisses, Kim, Lolo, Green Eyes, Deb, Belinda, Connie. Who else we got up in here? True Crime. Good to see everyone, guys. Clippy, thank you so much for the silver star, my dear. Appreciate you very much. Yeah, I about fell over when I heard this. I mean, it's not really, I get the FBI. I mean, I think we all agree that the FBI could have done more if Nanos would have, allowed the FBI to get in there and do some more work. Just because the FBI is there, they're only going to assist with what the sheriff asked for, right? Hey, Cheapskate, good to see you. Susan, Carol, Nyla, good to see you. GT, how you doing? Baby Kisses, good to see everyone. From Dusk Till Dawn, I love that movie. Remember that movie, From Dusk Till Dawn, with George Clooney? Tina, good to see you. ML, Patty, good to see everyone. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to get to it. Pretty shocking. Kash Patel speaks on this. He makes no bones about it, so to say. And Nancy Guthrie video may have been erased after keeping FBI out for days, the director said. Now, Kash Patel, he is more or less slammed Sheriff Doofy. And I can't blame him. I don't blame him a bit. Kash, he brought a aircraft from DC to Pima County just to be able to take, some testing back and all that. And, Sheriff Doofy done put it in the snail mail and shipped it off. So I really don't blame Cash for being upset about this. It wouldn't surprise me, after all is said and done, if Savannah doesn't come out and, it wouldn't surprise me if I saw Savannah or the Guthrie family come out and speak on Sheriff Doofy later. It wouldn't surprise me. Maybe even who knows? Maybe even a lawsuit. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Hey, Catherine, good to see you. Bets, good to see you, hon. All right, let's get with it. With John Hannity. Oh my God, that's the last thing I need is a pew pew. I don't care if it's a fake one or what. Hold on, let me cover this up. 1 second, guys, while we play this little ad here. Okay, here we go. Credit goes to Fox News and Sean Hannity. Question, guys. Has your opinion on the Nancy Guthrie, has it changed in any way, shape, or form? Do you still have the same theory that you've had from pretty much jump? Do you still have the same theory? Let me know. I know, Christy. It's yeah, it's so funny to me. He's whoever it is so worried about that. It's cute. All right, let's go on here. Let's.
One thing I want to ask you is about in the Nancy Guthrie case. I got frustrated because I knew from my sources they were trying to keep you guys out.
They did.
They did keep you out.
And look, here's how
time matters in an investigation.
The first 48 hours of anyone's disappearance are the most critical. And here's how these cases works. It is a state matter. It's a state and local law enforcement matter. What we, the FBI, do is say, hey, we're here to help. What do you need? What can we do? And for 4 days, we were kept out of the investigation. And when we were finally let in, Sean, look what we did. We went in and got the Ring doorbell.
He doesn't, usually in cases like this, they're talking about, they'll beat around the bush with the words and all that. Cash just says, we were kept out. We were.
And we said, hey, is anyone talking to Google? I called the leadership at Google and I said, look, we know that there was not a subscription service to capture all of the data that would have been captured had there been a subscription service. But can we go into the cache? Can we go into the data before it's deleted and see what we can find? That's why you have that image, because the FBI worked with Google to put that image out. Another thing
So think about this. And, the FBI was, I agree with Cash here. I think the FBI was kept out. I don't think this is anything that these reports have lied about. It's not just Cash saying this, even though he is the director. Think about this. If it weren't for the FBI contacting Google, according to Cash, we wouldn't have these right here. And guess what else we wouldn't have? We would not have the hair that they found in the house. Remember, FBI was the one that found the hair. They found the hair. It was them. It wasn't Pima County that found the hair. Which is basically everything that we know about this case. Right? All we have is a hair and a clip of a video. That's all we have in this case. And if they would have been able to go in sooner, they could have got probably more. We don't. And that makes me wonder, right? We still don't know anything about the DNA of the hair. And they have that back, right? Let's say the hairs, doesn't belong to the perpetrator. I don't think they're going to come out and say, well, the hair tested negative. It's a dog hair. Well, I mean, a house cleaning person's hair or whatever, and we cleared them. They're not going to say that. But if they have someone in mind, they're not going to say that either. They're keeping real quiet about that. Itching to hear the 911 call. Me too. You and me both, sister.
We asked to do.
You guys got that tape, which was the biggest breakthrough during that case.
We could have gotten it days before. We could have also maybe gotten more data had we been
why wouldn't they want your help? Why did they send the DNA to a lab in Florida?
Well, we know why. Because Sheriff Doofy has, in my opinion, a chip on his shoulder because of former investigations into him in the past. In my opinion, I think it's clear as day that's why. And this has absolutely been detrimental to this case, because we could have been so far along with the testing, and perhaps even gotten more footage, maybe from the inside of the cameras, maybe from outside of the cameras. I don't know. But time is of the essence, and it certainly, it can only go downhill after time. It can only go downhill, right? Oops, I'm trying to find something here.
Not Quantico.
That's the other thing that you hit on, right? Again, we were saying we'll process it. I launched hundreds of agents and intel staff to Phoenix and Tucson just for this case, just to be on standby.
And they didn't want
just
you
to
there.
do the canvassing. And we said, we'll take the DNA. And again, it's a state and local matter. So it's their call on where to send the DNA. We have Quantico, best lab in the world. I had a fixed wing aircraft on the ground ready to move it immediately through the night.
Did they just say no?
And they said, we're sending it to Florida. And then, I don't know,
They have
60
jurisdiction.
days. They have jurisdiction, so it's their call. So,
Bad call.
well, that's for the American public to decide. And what we can do is continue to offer support.
Well, we have decided that it's bad.
We would have analyzed it within days and maybe gotten better information.
Within days, right? I mean, that's just the truth. That's just the truth of it. They could have gotten the answers, or got the answers within days, not within a private lab. The FBI is the lab.
Or more information. Our lab's just better than any other private lab out there. And we didn't get a chance to do that. So I understand everybody's frustrations on that.
No, I'm not frustrated with you. I'm frustrated that if I was a sheriff and the FBI was willing to help me, and time is of the essence, I'd want all the help I can get.
No doubt. Okay. So in that, the delay in allowing the FBI in assisting in the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's suspected abduction may... Why are they saying suspected abduction now? I just noticed that, the letters. What are they saying? They're saying suspected abduction. Has that changed? Suspected abduction may have caused crucial video evidence due to the elaborate process involved in recovering the Nest doorbell footage from the crime scene, where the victim did not have a cloud subscription and her physical camera went missing as well, according to the FBI director. Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie, was taken from her Tucson, Arizona home on the early hours of February 1, according to authorities. The FBI worked with Google to recover cache video from Guthrie's Nest camera that was not intended for long-term storage and was on the verge of deletion, Cashtel, FBI director, told Fox News Digital. If there was more, it was lost before the FBI became involved, and its evidentiary value remains unknown. Quote, we were looking for a needle of all needles in all haystacks, because since she didn't pay for it, they didn't record that data, end quote, he said. But there was a chance that it was located in their cache just before it was being deleted, end quote. That's where investigators found the video and still images that Patel made public on February 10th in the hope that someone would recognize the suspect and turn him in. A short time later, FBI experts had generated a rough physical description. The masked suspect in description has between 5 feet 9 and 5 feet 10 inches tall with medium build. He was wearing a black Ozark black backpack. I don't know. Law enforcement messed up bad. They need evidence to place the perp at the scene. I still believe Miss Nancy is alive and well. You do, Trisha, on some private island watching sunsets and sunrises. This is a and I believe there is going to be a major cleansing in Arizona. You really think so? There's so many rumors floating around, but I remember hearing that there was a cup or glasses on the counter. Is that true? And if so, why didn't the DNA take it for a DNA sample, the glass? I have not heard if that to be true or not. I have not heard that to be true or not. So I don't really know. I have heard that, like our medicine and stuff was on the counter there, but haven't heard really anything else. Now we're going to go to our friend Brian Enton, and I want to show you a couple things that we're going to get to. He does an interview with Ed Smart. Link will be provided in the description, so you can watch the entire thing over there on Brian's channel. Let me drop this link right here, and we're going to get to it. Got a little bit of part here that I want to show you guys. Mods, if you would be so kind and drop Brian's channel in chat. I think Brian's been pretty quiet on, which there really hasn't been a lot going on in Nancy's case. It's kind of been, discouraging to say the least. But I still feel like they have exactly. Was Luke Daly doing rug runs through Nancy's area? Just a thought. Wouldn't surprise me. I don't believe I do believe he knew Nancy lived here. I would be shocked if he didn't. Okay, here we go.
Is going to explain, he relates to that on a personal level because he says that they had the same issue when his case was happening with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth was missing for 9 months. And he's going to explain, I guess you could call it the roller coaster ride that he went through with law enforcement, even himself being considered a suspect at one point. He feels his family member being considered a suspect. It was just interesting to hear.
So this is Ed Smart. He is the father of Elizabeth Smart, and he was blamed. Oh my God. They blamed him left and right. I never thought Ed was a suspect. Personally, I just never saw him as a suspect at all. But there was a lot of people who did. Ed, in my opinion, he just did not have he just didn't have that in him to do something like this to his daughter. You can just tell by his personality. He never had like a criminal history at all, ever.
Hear him now reflect on all of that in connection with how he feels about the Nancy Guthrie case and what the Guthries and what Savannah Guthrie must be going through right now. So I want to share my full conversation with you guys that I had with Ed Smart. Ed, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you you taking the time and thank you very much. I wanted to start off asking, I've been covering the Nancy Guthrie case really since the beginning. I was in Tucson for almost 2 months. And I don't know Savannah Guthrie. I mean, I've been a fan of hers for a long time. Obviously, she's the anchor of the Today Show, but you have an interesting perspective because, I mean, you've kind of been in that position before where you've been waiting.
What's that, Rocco? What do you disagree with? What's that?
Months for some kind of answer about someone that you love who went missing. Yeah. Both stories were, in the public eye in a big way. I mean, there's only really a handful of stories like that, I think, that got that level of attention. What is it like? Like, I mean, what do you think she's going through right now?
Well, being that she was so aware of this second letter, obviously she knew what it was.
Thank you, babe.
I think that this is kind of a last reach out to try to engage whoever the captor was to, please let us know where the body is. And, certainly during the time that Elizabeth was gone, we were on this emotional roller coaster, which I'm sure she has been.
I do think this will be resolved. I think at the very least, what will happen is genealogy. But then I kind of worry about even the genealogy, to be honest with you, because I don't feel like this person has a long history of family here in the United States. No. You're thinking about John Benet. You're thinking about John Ramsey. We're talking about Elizabeth Smart's father. His name is Ed Smart, which is right here. So, I don't know if you know this, but Rocco, but I have a little connection to Jean Benet Ramsey. If you've went back and seen some of my live streams, I kind of talk about it.
I have just been amazed at how well she has handled everything. Also felt badly that law enforcement weren't more forthcoming. You can never control the narrative that happens with law enforcement, the FBI.
This is Elizabeth Smart's dad. Sometimes people get them confused, but this is Elizabeth Smart. Elizabeth Smart was taken. She's alive today. She actually works in true crime now and is like a news reporter, but she was taken by this cult-like SA offender.
By the police, the sheriff's department, whoever your law enforcement is. And, you would think that they were basically doing everything in the best interest and they have their protocols or their procedures to follow. But I think to not have been more forthcoming to the public was a mistake. I think
the Jean Benet Ramsey case, it's one case that I really can't give an opinion on. I think there's a lot of suspicious things, and then I think there's a lot of weird things, and I think also, in like the Jean Benet Ramsey case specifically, the police truly fucked up in the beginning. They allowed just, the parents and everybody else to be in the house.
I think that you, as a parent, or in her case, as a child, you want to bring everything possible to bear on getting the answers that you want. And it's not a matter of whether she's alive or dead. It's a matter of, please just let us know. And so I'm hoping that Savannah, it sounds like at that time they believed that, her mother may have passed, and which I totally understand. And now just wanting to, find her body and get her home to the place that you want her to be settled. I totally understand that. But the ups and downs are this emotional roller coaster that, it's just like it's out of control.
Hold on. Let me find the part here. Let me go to this one first. 1 second. Let me go to this one. I need to find the part on this because there's just one specific part.
Security people. I mean, they got too many high-profile.
Okay. Look what they're doing here. Damn, maybe.
Out what the FBI thinks happened with Nancy Guthrie, and I'll explain how those two are connected. And I'm going to meet up with Steve Moore. Sorry, the plane's going by. I'm going to meet up with Steve Moore, who, if you guys watch my channel a lot, you guys know Steve, my buddy, retired FBI agent. He's actually also a pilot. And so he happens to be coming into the airport. And so I'm going to meet up with him while he's in town and kind of go over some of these new elements, revisit some old things, reflect on 170 days since Nancy Guthrie went missing, all of it in this episode.
I think they need to just give this over to the FBI.
That Brian Ensign investigates.
I mean, if you don't have, your homicide is never, solved a homicide case, and they've only been there 3 years.
Thank you. This is a different setting than I normally see you, but this is your other job. So
We always talk about it.
Yeah.
Old investigators never die. They just become pilots.
I appreciate you letting me on the airplane. I wanted to start off talking to you, though, about it's been 170 days, which is crazy to think about.
So, BJ says, Angie, somewhere I heard Annie had access to the camera, so possibly Annie told Savannah. I would think Savannah had access to the cameras also. It's also bizarre. See, I thought they would have access to the cameras as well. But in that dispatch, it says something about they did not have access to the cameras, which to me, that seems weird that they wouldn't have access when they care for her. Like, why else do you have cameras inside of your home?
Since Nancy disappeared.
For an 87-year-old woman.
This latest incident with the Today Show, with an intruder getting close to Craig Melvin.
Is this his plane? Does he have an aircraft? Or are they sitting in the cockpit? Well, he must have his own plane. Look at there. Brian's with a jet setter. How about that?
The thing I wondered is there's been this theory since the beginning that the person responsible for Nancy's disappearance could be someone obsessed with Savannah stalker type. Does this indicate that the FBI does not believe that? Because I'm just thinking if that was the case.
Before we go any further, do you think, just put a simple yes or no in chat, do you think this person, the reason this happened to Nancy, do you think they are obsessed with Savannah? Just a simple yes or no in chat. I want to see what you guys think. Justin, it's on to give this to the FBI. Yeah. No, no, no. No, no, yes. No, 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 no. No, yes. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Yes, dang, no, 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 no. Yes, no, 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 no. Okay, I agree with most of. Yes, I agree with the no's. I don't believe this was at all. Zilch was an obsession with Savannah, and I've said this pretty much from day one. Why do I think this is not an obsession with Savannah? Because if someone is obsessed with a celebrity, they do it themselves. They don't have help, right? And I think most of us at least think that one guy might have went in there, but this person had to have some help, in my opinion. Had to have some help. If you get like a lone wolf and they're just obsessed with someone and they want to get Savannah's mom to feel closer, you're going to do it alone. You're not going to do this, by yourself or anything like that. Barbara, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Joe, and thank you for the 30 gems. Appreciate you, love. Good to see you. The only way it is involved, Savannah Guthrie, is someone felt less than or not as important as Savannah. My gut still leans towards family being told no more dollars, in my opinion. Very possible. Very possible. I think it was an elimination murder, but why? I don't know. It's really confusing. I mean, I couldn't for a second think Savannah had something to do with it. I just couldn't for a second. And I couldn't for a second think Cameron has anything to do with it. Now, when it comes to A&T, because none of them are broke, but they are the ones that probably struggle the most out of all of them and are the least successful on paper, right? On paper. I think it's someone that knows Nancy that worked for her. I think it's someone close for sure.
Wouldn't they?
Nobody's going to, wipe out an 84-year-old woman in the middle of the night. Certainly, this is pre-planned, right? Premeditated.
They have had more tight security at NBC.
Yeah, you would think so. You can only extrapolate. It's possible that the FBI has a theory and NBC is treating it as not serious. I doubt that. NBC has a really robust, really high-speed, low-drag security people. I mean, they got too many high-profile stars. They are constantly dealing across the country with different stalkers. This is their business. So if the FBI had told them that there was a stalker, that there was a potential danger to their star of the Today Show, they would have.
Yeah, I agree with Steve here. Lori says, I think it's someone close to the family that has a personal grudge or jealousy. Savannah needs to go back to her time as a reporter and news anchor in Arizona. I doubt it if she would downgrade, in my opinion. But yeah, I agree with you in that. Like it's got to be some jealousy, some vengefulness, or something that they feel they're wronged in some way, shape, or form. I don't think Savannah will ever let them do a movie on her mom. She would have to relive it. I I don't, I don't know how, if she could stop it or not. I don't know. It just depends.
Reacted appropriately, I believe.
So you think that this indicates that the theory is not that it's someone that would show up?
If I were a betting man, that's exactly where I'd put all my money. That nobody has indicated to NBC security that that there's a danger to her. And more important, in some ways, Nancy doesn't believe that there is a threat to her. I'm sorry, Savannah doesn't believe that there's a threat to her because she wouldn't go without security. It doesn't matter what other people believe. If you believe you're in danger, you are going to voice that.
A lot of people thinks that this is a cover-up, right? Like, let's sit, and again, I'm not saying anybody is involved. Don't contact, don't harass, don't do, leave the family be, or anybody in this case. But a lot of people's like, what if it was A or T? Could this be damaging to Savannah's career, or could it be damaging to her image? Like I said, I think it would be extremely I just don't know if you can imagine your sibling doing something like that to your parent either, or your sibling's spouse as well. Like, I think about, could Annie suspect something and just not speak on it, right? Could she think, well, he was the last one that dropped her off. He didn't come home until late that night, or I went to bed and I don't know what time he got home. Is that a possibility? If you think about it, why was Luke Daly pulled over and his house searched? He was part of the hotel. He was running rugs for them. I still think they'll be back to visit Luke.
To your employer, and they have a duty to protect you, especially when the threat to you is because you work for them.
Right, makes sense. The source that I have close to the investigation described things right now as status quo. I don't have any indication, unfortunately, that they're closing in on someone.
I think reporters are being told this. The source that I had in the very beginning when I broke about the lie detector test with Tommaso and them, what I am getting is that even like the people, the police that work in Pima County, they don't even know a lot about like what's happening. It's so quiet. And to me, that just means they're working. If they're really quiet, they're working hard, and hopefully they're going to get somewhere. Don't forget about APS card in the door in Nancy or Annie, a victim of abuse. Some people say Arizona has to, contact, after an incident like this happens. Was it before? I don't know. I think certain people are being watched to see what moves they make. I agree with that, Cheapskate. I agree with that. I know that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. How much time is he facing? How much time is Luke facing? What is it, his second strike? Or maybe it's his third? Is it his third strike? I think they will be visiting someone that has never been mentioned. I agree. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I have had the same suspicion since finding out where the ransom notes were sent. California? Or what do you mean sent to TMZ and them? Is that what you mean? I don't believe this guy is Tommaso. I don't believe it's Luke either. But I don't know. So I do think there's someone else. Luke, he's got trial coming up as well. Family kidnapping game include phony SG and ANT. Clearly, Nanos was the porch. Perp without the backpack. Nanos? I don't know why people think Nanos did this. He's just a dumb.
It's been 170 days. Like, what do you make of that? Are you surprised?
The case is cold. The case is completely cold. And when you get a cold case, there are certain ways to handle it. When I came aboard in the FBI,
guys, we have some breaking news. Thank you for telling us that, Deb. Breaking news: the like button has never bitten anyone. We just checked, so make sure you hit that thumbs up or double tap that screen. If you hit the thumbs up or double tap the screen, if you're on mobile, you get 10 years of good luck. That's right, 10 years of good luck. If you hit that thumbs up button or double tap that screen.
I wondered what cases I was going to get as a brand new agent. I got cold cases, and I don't mean something significant like the Nancy Guthrie disappearance, but I got stuff that was maybe a disappeared person or a murder that was 10, 15 years old. They don't close those cases ever, but they'll give them to new agents who are coming in with a new set of eyes, who are not indoctrinated into the way the FBI necessarily investigates everything. And sometimes people see them in a different light. And
all it takes is, if they don't have anything, which I still believe they do, is sometimes a fresh set of eyes, right? Is a fresh set of eyes. It can be something as noticing something so tiny about the crime scene. I've went back on cases that I've covered and heard something a new way after giving it a break, seeing things that I've never seen before. And sometimes you just need some fresh eyes in there. That haven't had, these mental blocks of, just a whole new fresh set of eyes. Alicia, thank you for the flow state, girl. Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, Alicia. Good to see you, my friend. Really appreciate you. And Michelle, thank you for the silver star. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Much love, Leslie. A lot of people have the same stand. What do you mean?
We used to call those old dogs, cases that just would never go away. And so what I would do, and what most people would do, is start at the beginning and try not to take the same steps that the investigators did before, because we know the result of that. Try going off in a different direction. Try anything you can to mix things up a little and see if you don't bump into something that they didn't.
Do you think they're doing that now?
Oh, yeah. Listen, there is, I can't adequately...
Do you guys think this is cold? Just a simple yes or no in chat. Do you think this case is cold? Or cooling? Or are they just working?
Convey how much pressure are on the FBI agents. First of all, the average FBI agent puts an immense amount of pressure on themselves.
I don't think so.
And then the Bureau doesn't have to push very hard to get much more pressure on them. This is not acceptable in the FBI. The FBI does not, it's kind of like a plane crash in the airlines. That's just no. We cannot have unsolved cases. We're the FBI. So there is probably a lot of push on this. And they may be thinking it's kind of like your quarterback's playing a bad game. Take him out, put somebody else in. It just doesn't matter how good he is. Sometimes you're just...
I don't think it's cold. I don't think it's cold by any stretch. Justin gets his gifts even if you send another chat. What do you mean even if you send another chat? What does that mean? No, yes, cooling. I think Nancy's house was completely staged and was planted. I don't think she made it home either that night. You think they're stuck, Kim? I think they have to be working really hard on this because it is such a high profile case. And you heard Nanos, which I don't believe a lot that he says, but you heard him say, we've got to make sure we get it right. We've got to make sure, you know, how did he say it? That the ones that are cleared, you know, it's just as important to clear those as it is, you know, to find the person or something like that. I think she was home, but there are some people that think she's not home, you know, just like someone in chat here, they think Nanos is the porch guy. But, you know, I don't, you know, everyone's opinions allowed. I don't see how they think that, but I went to see that. Me too. God, me too, Rocco. Me too. You don't think it exists? Oh, I think it exists. I do think it exists, but I wish we could see that. I would love to see Nancy get in that car, how she behaved that day, which I'm sure typical, but and especially her getting out of that car.
Not doing well in this one. So they may replace case agents after this much time. Heck, people have transferred out. You know, the FBI moves people around. So I would say what you're probably looking at is the FBI is evaluating not just the case, but how they've worked the case.
Yeah, this is very
trying to find what they can do to look at it from a different standpoint.
Yes.
And so I don't
doing
see
peace? Where
right
you been,
now
girl?
that they are giving up on the case by any stretch of the mind. But
I think Nanos is probably trying to cover his ass up in the department of how they blundered this and screwed with the FBI, but I don't think he's involved.
I'd be evaluating whether we had the right people on it.
But this is very performative. Deb, thank you for the air travel. 1,000 gems. How you doing, girl? Thank you so much, darling. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for the air travel. We are flying.
The room's alive. You send that kind of love and it makes me shine. Here it comes again, pulling me in tight. Got that kind of glow, turning all the night. Pearl storm, coming in clutch. Pearl storm, that's too much. Pearl storm, coming in clutch.
Thank you, my darling. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, love. Hey, Elmo. How you doing? Good to see you, Elmo. Thank you so much. Have you watched Chris and Karen? The FBI knows that Nanos is involved. I didn't get to see Chris and Karen's. Was it last night? or night before last. I didn't get to see it, but I don't think that they are saying directly. Help me out, Chad. If you've seen it, let me know. Did they say? I can't imagine. I mean, listen, I don't want to speak for my friend Chris and Karen, but I don't think that they think that Nanos is involved. I think they probably think he's a doofus like the rest of us.
And that doesn't mean the investigators who've been on it so far aren't great. It just means that on this one, there's something that they're not picking.
So my theory, what happened to Nancy is today, my theory is the same it's pretty much always been. I think it's someone very, very close. I think it's either family or someone that she knows, someone that has worked for her. And I think that, or it's, paid for someone to do this to her, right? Most likely financial. Most people don't really hate old people, do they? Like, you usually don't think of when I think of an old person, I don't think of them as like, oh, I can't stand that person. You know what I mean? But that's just me. Like, usually you're a lot more forgiving and you're a lot more compassionate to old people. Financial gain. Yeah. I don't think he benefits at all, my opinion. No, I don't think Nanos is involved at all. In my opinion, it's someone that surrounded Annie and her environment. It's very possible. No, I love old people. I hope not. Yeah. I mean, I love elderly people and stuff. You generally have a lot more grace for elderly people, right? Like oh, bless her heart, she doesn't feel good. Or, like, she's 84, she can't, you just have a little bit more compassion for elderly. So, the thing that kind of makes my eyes raise a little bit more is it's seeming like the financials that Annie and Tommaso kind of were, they bought the 2 houses in the last year. They sold one of their cars. How much money were they bringing in? Were they bringing in enough? When you got a home, it's not just you're making a mortgage payment, right? You've got to pay the utilities, you got to pay the property taxes, you got to pay the insurance, you got to pay for the upkeep, and that costs a lot of money. And then buying those 2 properties within literally a couple weeks of each other. What's very disturbing to me is PCSD firing a deputy for allegedly kidnapping who was his FTO. How many more alleged undesirables are on the payroll? Well, I think the sheriff is one of the undesirables, in my opinion. I think he respectfully keeps a lot of the ass kissers around him. And if they don't kiss his ass, like, listen, if you are a police officer for a few months, a year or 2, you're more likely going to kiss your boss's ass. You haven't been in the field very long, right? You don't want to get fired and, lose your career. You haven't had time to really move on to another county or state or wherever you're going to move on to. And I think this is why Nanos keeps police officers that are just there for just kind of 3 years or less, you know. No, not obsessed with Savannah coming in late. Sorry, that's okay. The silver pin, good to see you. But if they were obsessed with Savannah, they would want to do more to get her attention. Yeah, I mean, then just abduct her mom. There would be odds, perhaps you would think. But the second letter was addressed to Savannah, right? Hello, Savannah. It said, I think it was, wasn't it? Hello, Savannah. Some officers think they're better than we are and can get away with anything. There, as in every profession, Patty, there's bad ones. There's bad ones, you know. And when you see good, you know, police officers, and they're good and they're there to help the community, you know, the law enforcement is not just there to punish as we think, right? They're there to be supportive in the community. And when you see a good officer, let them know that. I'm sure they would appreciate it. I heard that Auntie's property taxes were due this past May and heard a rumor they could not pay. I'm sure there's some public record of it somewhere. You can see if someone's property taxes is paid or not. I may even have it. I can't remember how much their property taxes is. I'm sure it's, you know, quite a bit where they're at. Has family in law enforcement, once you get a couple years in and a rotten sheriff is elected, you just keep your head down until they get voted out to protect your pension.
Yeah, and it could be that there's nothing to pick up, but the only way you're going to know that is to put somebody else in and see if they come up with anything different.
I wanted to go back to the beginning, Steve, because I've done so many episodes on Nancy Guthrie. You've talked about it so much, but I hadn't really gone back and looked at the surveillance video carefully in a while since the beginning, and I forgot kind of how detailed it is. And I just wanted to watch it with you, and maybe it's 44 seconds. Just kind of tell me what's standing out to you again.
But before
Crap, I was muted. I'm sorry, guys. I did not want to get deleted. Last time I showed that video like this, they yanked me.
point out that
One second.
there's a shadow of the guy, and by
Give me a second, guys.
extrapolation, you got to find out what cast that shadow. Are we talking about front? Then you,
because I've been there. It's just the camera's, I guess, night vision. But when you talk about shadows, I don't think there are any light.
Doorbell, and I realize immediately. I mean, this is what it's like in the squad bay. But then she could call the police. So why would you do that? He's not covering the camera. It'd be very easy just to put your hand on the camera. So
that's the question about this. No, it's the new pew pew and things that they do on YouTube, and it's like, it's just the AI will get you. And I got kicked off for a day. But I when it comes to this video, that's the big question, is if why didn't he just rip it off in the beginning, right? Rather than getting the flowers and trying to cover it, why didn't he just rip the damn thing off?
So I don't know what he's doing there.
And the other hand.
Yeah.
It's a...
That's just... I would be trying, and now he's looking for something to cover it up with, but... And see, to me, I'm wondering, you're completely camouflaged, you're covered, you're disguised. Why would you need to cover it up now? They've already seen you.
And that's a very good point Steve makes there, right? Like, why do you need to cover it up if you're completely disguised, right? This guy was allegedly there on the 11th, 2 weeks before this even happened. In my opinion, it's because he's taking her out the front door. I think that's the only reason he was going to cover it up. He was taking Nancy out the front door. If he's covered, he's not going to show anything. But he didn't want, I think he didn't want the crime itself to be on the camera. Wanda, thank you for the sparkles. Appreciate you, baby. Good to see you, my dear. My people, can you send it to me? Watch Marine in Big City Dan. You get a chance to see the possible pickup truck on street. They analyze photo with contrast. I don't know. I just don't know if I'll look at it. I mean, I love Maureen. Love her to pieces. But I don't know if there's a truck out there.
And you know they have.
I want to see it.
So why now do you cover it up? Is it because of what you would see next?
Well, and also if you had this all planned carefully, like it doesn't, looking for the brush to cover, I mean, it seems kind of, to me, like unplanned, like you're working in the moment.
Unplanned is unprofessional. Somebody who's a professional doing something like...
Okay, but here's the thing. If you were out there 2 weeks prior, right, and you were stalking Nancy and you were waiting for her to get back home, that's premeditated. That's planned. But I think it's kind of just life whenever you can have an idea of something in your head, and when it comes to fruition, it's not like you planned, right? Like you can go on vacation and for instance, I think it's called Paris syndrome, that people will go to Paris and it's nothing, zilch, like you thought in your head, or way the media portrays it. And I think also this person could have planned this, but when he got there, it didn't go exactly as to plan as he thought. You know what I mean? Thank you, Allie, for the floating heart. Appreciate you, love. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, love. If it was staged, the porch, people made it look like something it was not. I don't think it's staged, in my opinion. I think something didn't go as planned when they were in the house. And I think maybe they were just going to take her out the back, or they just forgot about the Ring camera when they went to take her out.
Like this would have it planned down to the minute. I mean, it's just too easy to hold a cardboard box in front of you, come up with a black piece of tape and put it on the Ring camera.
Yeah.
I mean, then you give them nothing. Showing what's inside of something. I don't see it printing anything structurally significant. It almost looks like it's clothing or something like that.
Yeah, most people just, put some spray paint on it or yank it off. Pickle Me Elmo just sent a guitar, 1,000 gems. How you doing, Pickle Me Elmo? Appreciate you, babies. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the guitar, my love. Really do appreciate you. Very, very much, my love. Good to see you. Thank you, Pickle. My vision isn't the best, but I never understood the point of the flowers. Was he trying to hang them in front of the camera somehow? Or why? It just wasn't thought out, I think, the Jersey lady. I think it just was not thought out very well, in my opinion. I think it was just in the moment, like, shit, I need to cover this kind of thing. Patty, thank you so much for the clutch. How you doing, girl? Thank you, Miss Patty. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you very much, Miss Patty. Good to see you, honey. Maybe he wanted the camera to see if his earlier visit home was captured, but you got to have the software to know that, right? If you don't have the login, it's pointless, right? Oh, thank you, Pickle. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you. Very kind. Yeah. It's not recorded on the camera, Cindy. It's the cloud. Yeah. It's the camera, right? There's nothing inside that camera. It just takes the video and sends it to the cloud. You love the guitar. Is this live right now? Hold my hand. I hope so. Thank you for being here. I went out the Pima County Treasurer Office for property taxes. Nancy's taxes for 2025 is paid in full. I see that bill for A&T, but where they actually paid for 2025. Interesting. No footprint or smears in the bloods. Almost impossible. You see, this is the thing. I think there actually is some prints in the blood, in my opinion. Was not put together well, and they scrambled afterwards. And I can't believe she hasn't been found or them caught. I agree.
Like that. Yeah. Clothing or cloth or tarps, I've heard people say. But it appears not to be very heavy. But
oh, crap.
One store somewhere, but
okay.
And I believe the windbreaker, whatever he was wearing, if I'm correct, they were all Walmart products. So I thought that all you'd have to do was get into the Walmart computer system and find out who purchased all of those at one store somewhere. But
I don't think he was.
I can't imagine the frustration. I mean, the agents themselves, when they saw this, probably thought, "Oh, we're going to get this guy."
Yeah.
And I cannot. It's like.
I thought once they showed once they showed this video and this photo, I thought within 2 hours they would have known who he was. And maybe they did. Maybe they do. But here's the thing. Once they arrest someone, time starts ticking. And I think a lot of people forget that. Time starts ticking. And that's why law enforcement a lot of times are putting everything together and have absolutely everything they've got when they arrest someone. Especially in these very high profile cases. Once they arrest someone, or they name a suspect, time starts ticking, right? When they say, we have no suspects, we don't know. Well, first of all, it makes this guy feel a lot better, right? It makes him sleep a little bit better at night. It makes him sleep a little bit better. He's still looking over his shoulder and all that, but he might not be doing some things, that's trying to hide evidence as much or whatever. So I think it's kind of a combination of those things. Yes, and it seems they wait a year or so for it's airtight so they can nail him in the court. Yeah. I honestly don't think she will ever be found. If she was disposed of in the desert, there isn't much left. I hope electronic data, car, phones, bank records, etc. will solve this case. I think it just depends how she was disposed. That's what I think. I think it really just depends on how she was disposed. I think if she's out in the desert and if there was like a grave already dug for her and it's, deeper, it's not as shallow, I think they'll have stuff. But like I said, she could be in a freezer. We don't know. She could be in a freezer. She could be under a barn. She could be in the back of someone's yard. No, I don't think the cartels are involved at all. Zilch, nada, nothing. No.
Going into a game that you're heavily favored for and you're supposed to win, and it's halftime right now, and you're getting your butt kicked. They're sitting, what just happened?
Even the face, you can see eyes, you can see the mouth. I just thought someone would have recognized,
Yeah.
the build.
Yeah. I can tell you that I am absolutely convinced
Yes, Deborah. Wasn't it said that in one of the ransom notes, we will bring her back to Tucson, insinuate she's not in Tucson? Yes. And again, that's if you believe that. But you also have to think, they also said they would need some hours to get her back to Tucson as well, right? So that's possible. Hey, YouTube, how are you doing? So yeah, I've thought about that as well, Deborah. Good thinking. Sherry, didn't T have a job at the time? I don't know about that. I know he was. I think he was. I want to say he was. Let me check on that.
The FBI has a lot more information. I would be very surprised if they didn't have a lot more video, which makes me even more surprised that they haven't solved this one yet. Because, you and I both thought, and I did this for 25 years, I thought, yeah, that's enough. That should be fine. Something here is going to be a curve that nobody saw. And that's when this is solved, you're going to realize probably, oh, that's why nobody saw this. They were, it's like looking for your car keys. You forgot that you walked into the bathroom and you searched the entire house. And then somebody said, were you in the bathroom? And you go, oh, yes, it's going to be like that. There is one box that hasn't.
That's exactly right. Yes. Yeah. And you never know. It could literally be, it is literally right in front of us, probably, that all of us are not seeing. Maybe someone's already seen it, but they're just not saying, or they just haven't seen it or whatever. I mean, it could be something in a something someone said, something in a photo, something in a video. But I absolutely agree with him on that. I bet that almost none of us would be surprised, actually. I agree.
Had checked off. There's one thing that is so out of the ordinary that it wasn't given a lot of attention, because it's like you have to triage it. You have to know what you spend your time on. You've got all these agents, and you have to spend your time on high probability things in an investigation.
First.
So what this is telling me is something very low probability has happened here, and it has
something low probability. Well, what's the low probability? I mean, how does he mean that? So if it's, I mean, there's just no way in hell, in my opinion, is this just some random mofo, right? Because of where she lives. Like Chris says, she lives in a spaghetti bowl to get there. Out of all these houses, you picked Nancy Guthrie's house, the mother of Savannah Guthrie's house. They didn't take anything that we're aware of. Didn't take a damn thing. It's got to be they pre-planned this. So I mean, it's got to be someone around her. That knowed that she lived there. That knows her. Oh my God, I'm so sick of people talking about those damn ranch attacks. All that is news filler. Whenever you hear the wrench attacks, it's a low news day. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's a low news day with that. Hey, Green Eyes. Does he mean someone bumbled their way to her house? No, I don't think he means that. I think he means a low probability that how did he say that we're like missing something? How did he say that?
To spend your time on,
like, they're going to go over the big things first, right? What's most likely to happen in these cases? Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Thank you so much, darling. Appreciate your super sticker. Thank you very much, Summer breeze. Good to see you, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much. They had to know Nancy's every move. I agree. And I always think, at the gas station at the end of her road, I'm like, was these mofos just waiting for Tommaso to bring her home? Like, were they just sitting at the gas station or sitting close to the gas station? Like, they knew. I think it's weird that it's the same day that she goes to Annie and Tommaso's, to be honest with you.
high probability things in an investigation. So what this is telling me is something very low probability has happened here. It has
love you, darling.
It has caused all the problems.
I want to show you too the timeline again. Again, just kind of going back, these are things that the FBI provided that really I haven't revisited in a while, but maybe there's something that will stand out to you. So this was the timeline that they gave at the press conference. And there hasn't been a lot of information since. But we know that
January
Oh, feel
31st,
better,
5:32,
Babs. Love you,
Nancy
baby.
went to local family's home, which we now know is Annie and Tomato, the daughter, for dinner. Was dropped off at.
See, but here's the thing, my people. Thank you for sending that video, by the way. We're going to look at it. I'm going to show it in a minute. Like Dr. Gary stats on elderly SA. See, I mean, is it possible? Yeah. Is it probable? No. I don't think this is SA at all. Why? Why do I think this is not SA? Because usually someone that SAs, they just leave them, right? They just, makes me want to throw up, but fulfill their desire and go along, right? Number one. Number two, they don't wait 2 weeks, right? They don't show up before and look around. So I don't think it's that, in my opinion. My connection is not okay. I've heard several versions about her birthday. Was there a celebration with friends at her home? Yes. Yes. There, let me show you 1 second. There absolutely was. I don't know what is with my internet right now, guys. If I'm skipping, I'm sorry. Let me show you this. Right here. Fact. There was January 30th. There was, I don't know if this was for her birthday per se, but there was Nancy Guthrie hosted friends at her home for the, I call it mahong, however you say it, gathering. During the visit, Nancy confirmed plans with friend Annie Burnson to attend her regular Sunday church live stream gathering scheduled for February 1st, 2026. The group routinely met at a friend's home to watch a recorded live stream of New York church service attended by Nancy's daughter, Savannah Guthrie. Friends later described Nancy as alert, engaged, and participating normally during the gathering. Right? And so this is a less than, about 24 hours before, maybe even less before. So there's that. Let me see here. Her birthday was January 27th. And so this was the 30th. Let's see if there's anything with like a birthday. In 2022, Nancy's 80th birthday was publicly celebrated. Look at this. Watch Savannah's beautiful tribute to her mom's 80th birthday. 1 second as this plays with this. So they celebrate. I mean, this was technically 4 years ago. Thank you for the floating heart, Miss Tina. How you doing, girl? Appreciate you, babies. Okay.
boost, but this isn't just any ordinary boost. This is a special one.
Hoda, you were so sweet. You shared the morning boost with me because it is my mom's 80th birthday, and I'm hoping this gives her a boost. My mom, Nancy Guthrie, was born this day. Nancy Ellen Long, 1942 in Fort Wright, Kentucky, carrying that family trait of round cheeks and curly hair and blue eyes that continues to this day. She's lived a life of integrity and loyalty. Whether you really want to hear the truth or not. It's well read. She's curious about everything.
Give me a second. I'm not sure I can play this music. It might copyright me. But look at all these. These are 84, or this is when she was 80, rather, in 2022.
Family fear.
They publicly celebrated. Oh, look at this.
Steadfastness and
Look how good she looks there. I mean, I think that was even a few years back past 2022. She looks really good there, but you know, hair and makeup can do a lot as well, but she looks really young there.
any of us.
She really does.
Proverb, the one she taught me about the.
I wonder where they're at right here. Y'all know where they're at? Is this one of her friends? Did Savannah and the family have an 80th birthday party for those holiday pictures, or in December, presumably not her birthday? Don't know about that. Look how good she looks.
And call her blessed. And so we do. Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh.
80, you gotta get a little special
by the way,
something.
That was beautiful, and you told me.
So, I mean, look how she kind of went downhill in the last few years. She really went downhill. You know what I mean? No, it's not that. It's that it's not the fair use thing. It's the music. It's the copyright music. It'll pick it up. And then we lose our monetization on it.
Recently, that the reason that you were confident that you were going to have Vail was because your mother told you it was going to happen.
Yeah, she did. I believe her. My mom, she's a truth teller, so she doesn't BS. If I guess I can.
She's a truth teller. She doesn't BS. And people say that Nancy was very loving, but she could be kind of blunt. Right? And sometimes that again. Probably just glitched again, guys. Sorry. And if she was a truth teller, and if she was kind of blunt about it, could she have maybe
Say that. Sorry, Mom.
Told you it was going to happen.
Yeah, she did. I believe her. My mom, she's a truth teller, so she doesn't BS. If I guess I can say that. Sorry, Mom. And she
doesn't BS.
When I was in my 30s and wasn't sure I would ever.
Nancy's also a woman of great faith.
She is.
And the conversations I've had with her.
Happy 80th, Mama. Thanks, Today's Show, for letting me do that.
When I switched to
So that was her 80th. That was in 2022. So there's that. I don't know. Let me show you guys this right here. So someone sent this to me a minute ago. Maureen and the guys, Big City Crime Inside the Red Tape. Look at this. Big City Crime. I want to know what you guys think on this. Let me scroll this so you guys can see more of it. Okay. Big City Crime. Now, they did some contrasting here. And do you guys think this is a truck? Mary Beth, happy birthday, darling. Happy birthday, Mary Beth. Happy birthday to you. I copied and pasted straight from Google, so let me see what else. What's that? Nancy Guthrie, rich, she worked a normal job. Yo, absolutely. Yeah. Justin, did you ever hear the theory that Nancy was about to give evidence in court against a company she used to work for? I've heard that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not really sure, though. Okay. Let me look at the timestamps they told me to look at right here. 6. There's very few very interesting points. I don't know. I'll let you guys go watch it, but
showing as the highlighted there with truck, and then when I zoom in,
okay, what do y'all think? I'm not buying it. I don't buy it personally. It could be, a lot of people thinks that there is a vehicle back there, but I don't buy it. Savannah Guthrie stated that when she flew to Tucson, Arizona on February 2nd, her brother Cameron and sister Annie were already there waiting for their mother. Nancy went missing. Yeah. Yes, I guess they see a truck right there. I don't buy it, though. I just don't see it. Let's do a poll. There is no right or wrong answer. Do you see a truck? Yes. No. This is from Big City Crime. Put a 1 in chat for yes or a 2 for no. Spicy Disaster, thank you for the clutch, darling. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for your support, love. Good to see you. The other stream, they were saying the truck faces the other way. No one can see it. It's a figment of the imagination. But, I've seen creators say, that there's a vehicle back there. But I just don't see it. I mean, I did something like this in the Sebastian Rogers case, but, I spoke to the neighbors. We seen the car headlights turn on and turn off and the motion light and all that. And people still grilled us for that. So I could see it more in my opinion, Sebastian's case than I could this, but that's just me. So 6% say yes, and 94% say no at this point. But I don't know. What did Maureen say about that? Make sure you guys sub up to Big City Crime. Is this part of her channel? Okay. All right, so we're going to go to, I'm going to end that one right there. I'm going to go back to Brian on this. And because you mentioned something on this timeline. Let's see here. Brian to the Inton. Love Brian. Here we go.
Her her home. So she was there 5:32 to 9:48.
Let me back this up.
But maybe there's something that will stand out to you. So this was the timeline that they gave at the press conference. And there hasn't been a lot of information since. But we know that January 31st, 5:32, Nancy went to local family's home, which we now know is Annie and Tommaso, the daughter.
She's not buying the truck thing. I love Maureen, but she's not buying the truck thing. You could read it on her face, but she was trying to be polite. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what you got to do sometimes, especially when you're on other people's channels, or you just got to disagree. You know, you're just, you know, you listen, you're not going to agree with someone 100% of the time. Doesn't matter if it's your kids, your husband, your wife, your priest, your doctor. It doesn't matter. You're not going to agree with them 100% of the time. And that's the way it is, especially on these cases.
For dinner, was dropped off at her home. So she was there 5:32 to 9:48, dropped off at her home back at 9:48. Garage door opens, which they can track because of the apps and everything with the door. Garage door closes at 9:50, so she's apparently back home. And then you fast forward to the early morning hours of February 1st, 1:47 a.m. doorbell camera disconnects, which is the video we just looked at when the camera got pulled eventually. 2:12 a.m. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, if they say the doorbell disconnected at 1:47, how are we seeing software
I don't know, Leslie,
detecting a person on camera 15, 20 minutes later?
So that's a good question. Software detects person on camera.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but it...
Okay, so what are you saying there? Doorbell camera disconnects. Software detects person on camera at 2:12. Does it reconnect? And it doesn't say, and the 2:12 doesn't necessarily say the Ring doorbell camera. Could that be a different camera? Exactly which camera? It doesn't say doorbell camera. Justin, I'm so happy you did a Nancy live. I missed you. Well, girl, I do cases every day. You can come visit me when I'm not doing a Nancy case. I mean, here's the thing, like, if I don't feel like I can add anything to this case, I don't want to like waste your time. You know what I mean? Like, I try to put some value into I give it all I got generally. So I don't, you know, a lot of people, they'll just go live with Nancy just to talk about Nancy, which is fine. But I want to be able to offer.
When you say disconnect, when you saw that guy on camera, that ring or that nest or whatever it was, that was in its position.
Yeah.
And so I'd have to have a better understanding of what they were talking about.
Well, and the other interesting thing is when they gave this timeline, this was before they released the video and realized they were able to get the video from Google.
Right.
So there's something they had that I guess showed them that a software detected someone on camera 2:12 a.m. 2:28 a.m. Her pacemaker disconnects from her phone in the bedroom.
So you have a 15-minute window of them getting her out of the house.
Yeah. And so
and another thing, like the 45 minutes, or about 45 minutes, 40 some minutes of them being at the house. A lot of people think that it's them being in the house. It doesn't necessarily mean them being in the house. It means them being on the property or in the area, if you will, in the yard of Nancy's place. Regardless, even 15 minutes inside is quite a long time. 45 minutes is a really long time, right? Enough time to cook cookies. Yes. Sammy, thank you for the 200 gems, babe. Appreciate you very, very much. So good to see you, Sammy. Thank you so much for your support, my friend. Really appreciate that very much. Nancy was not connected with any fraud cases. It was reported that she did have an appointment with an attorney set for a few days after her missing. Yeah. And, you kind of wonder, like, does anyone know what it was about? The attorney? What it was about? And, that, we talk about money and all of that. Was she going to change something? I mean, why do you go to an attorney? Right? It's either criminal or civil, right? You can go to attorney for suing someone. You can go to attorney for your will. You can go to, all of estate, right? When you buy your house, you go to an attorney to get the deed and all that stuff done. I had an attorney do my will, all the paperwork. Hello, Miss Kelsey. Good to see you. My guess would be estate planning. Yeah. And, if she did have that appointment with an attorney, it's kind of a weird timing. How long in advance did she have this? I would really want to know if she did have this attorney. Was this appointment made before this guy was at the house on the 11th? You could tell, Zelda. Yeah, good to see you, babe. You could tell Nancy was really going downhill. The older we get, the faster we age. And once you're 80, generally about 78, you start aging progressively faster. Like really faster. It sounds terrible, but for some families, wills can cause so much hard feelings. Absolutely, simply real. I can see a work person eliminating someone out of spite. I can see that. I can see Nancy helping out even a family member, a friend of the family that's like family, helping, most likely family though. She helping out someone while she's alive. They got in a hard spot and she's like, okay, I'll give you the money or whatever now to help you out. But in the will, you're not getting it, Shush, Justin. I like the way you think. The older I get, the better I get. Yes, Terry. Listen, there is some advantages, or there's not some. There is a lot of advantages of getting older. There is. You don't care as much. That's the beautiful thing to me. The older I get, the less I give a wooden nickel. That's the beautiful thing. Things that you would stress over in your 20s and even early 30s. Honey, I have lived through this much. You don't faze me. Right. RC coming in clutch, 450 gems. How you doing, RC? Appreciate you very much. Very kind of you, my dear. Really, really do appreciate that, my dear. Good to see you. Thank you so much, love. So yeah, I mean, there's I think they say women generally like their 40s and their 50s are like the best, specifically for women. Guys usually, I mean, some women do, but guys generally have a middle-age crisis at 40. How do I know? because I'm 40. Yes, one of the first things to go after a certain age is social necessities. Yeah, exactly.
147 would be what it seems the camera was pulled. So that's 40 some minutes from the time she's far enough from her phone that the Pacemaker app disconnects.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what happened during all that time.
Yeah, I'd have to better understand what they mean by doorbell camera disconnects and software detects person on camera. Those are contradictory statements. So either they got her out in 16 minutes or they got her out in 30 minutes.
Yeah. And you know something, Miss Bright Now, I know most of us want to believe Nancy was a sweet and innocent lady, but we really don't know who she's been involved with or what past skeletons she could have had in her closet. So many unknowns. And I agree with you, right? And I always say, you know, like, anytime someone goes missing or is unalived, right? You hear the good things about them, right? They could light up a room, that stuff, right? And good, right? All of those things. But we're all human as well. And some days we don't have a good day, right? None of us are angels. Let's just be real. Nobody is an angel all the time. And you're right. We do not know you know, what Nancy has been involved with or gotten herself into or whatever. And like I always kind of say, you know, just because even if someone's more days than not really a great person to be around, it still doesn't give anyone a right to unalive them in the middle of the night of their home, right? So both things can be true. Kelsey, I am let's not start, girl. Let's not start. I went gray at 31, like my grandma dyed it. After that, now it's time for a change. Are you going to let it grow out? Are you going to go gray or white? Maybe she was an ex-CIA double agent. And listen, people who are CIA agents working at the time, you're not going to know. And they're going to be the least people you think, the last person that you ever thought as a CIA agent. Yeah, you want silver hair? Justin, we have to be this way as we age for our mental health. What do you mean? What way? What way, my dear? Savannah Guthrie got out of AZ. CG got out, and poor AG was right down there in the heart of the worst of AZ. I mean, they just took different paths, right? They call me Britney, bitch. I mean, why in the world would they have a P.O. box in Puerto Rico? Huh? Who has a porta potty in Puerto Rico? Who has a P.O. box in Puerto Rico? Who's that soaring energy? I have not heard that one. But there's so many creators that are just making up just shit right now in this case, just to keep it going. And I'm just like, guys, Please don't believe that. This P.O. box has been coming up a lot lately in chats, and supposedly boyfriend of Nancy's. Oh, for fuck's sake. Never heard of a Puerto Rico box. A&T do have a P.O. box in Puerto Rico, apparently. Is there a receipt for that? I need a receipt for that. Who's checking their Puerto Rico box? I mean, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so it wouldn't surprise me. Nancy has 2 new addresses connected to her. One being a P.O. box in Puerto Rico. Cannot find who it's registered to. The mods for a couple different channels go together, and they were researching about Sione guy from Italy. Came across the P.O. box for Annie and Nancy in Puerto Rico. Let me look at something 1 second.
Or 45 minutes. So, 45 minutes. So that's a big issue.
And this is from the very beginning.
Yeah.
When they released this, I'm sure that they've added in a lot of data points.
Yeah. And but see, I'm going after this, like you said, as a cold case guy. Seeing this for the first time, this is, not considering what we've learned since then, but based on what we knew at this time, where did we go wrong? And so you look at things like this when it's cold and you say, tell me again why these don't match up. And sometimes on working a cold case from the beginning, you see mistakes that were made that it somehow got missed.
When this is a screenshot a picture I took from the press conference. They put this this graphic up on a screen, and it was the Pima County Sheriff's Office and the FBI there. This was a couple days after Nancy went missing. Should they do something like this again? I mean, they obviously felt it was proper to give.
Hold on, I just saw this. 1 second. I think I might have covered this. This might be old, but I don't know if this is new or not.
This morning, investigators are analyzing additional images that law enforcement sources told ABC News the FBI recovered from cameras at Nancy Guthrie's home. The sources said the images were recovered in recent weeks from motion-activated cameras trained on her swimming pool, backyard, and side yard. Those are different views than the cameras showing the armed men in a mask on her doorstep the night she vanished. Investigators were unable to recover video from the additional cameras, but still images captured when the cameras were triggered by motion. The sources said the cameras caught several people in the yard during an unspecified period prior to the abduction and police officers after the abduction.
Here it was. Listen.
But nothing from the night Nancy Guthrie was taken.
Then you might be able to go back and fill in who potentially could have been around Nancy's house. It's pretty time-taking work, but again, it is leads or procedures, techniques like that sometimes can.
Puerto Rico is it's a U.S. territory, so y'all can send me to Puerto Rico and I will check it out. Me too, Mr. Sister.
Get you to the bad guy.
The Pima County Sheriff's Department said it continues to analyze various forms of evidence in the Nancy Guthrie case, including material from laboratories as well as images and videos captured by cameras. It's unclear whether the recently recovered images will prove helpful, but investigators are trying to retrieve everything they possibly can from those cameras. At the same time, a Florida lab is trying to untangle a mixed DNA sample found inside.
I don't know about the Puerto Rico thing. I really don't. I was trying to see if there was anything about the Puerto Rico, but I don't see anything. So, my People search site, which has been accurate on everything I search, shows Nancy Guthrie as deceased with 2 new addresses. Oh, they're showing this. No. Oh, so it's the background thingy. You're going to have to, yeah, I'm going to have to get more that I would have to have more evidence than that. I can check with my my private detective that I work with and see if that's legit or not, because I get the backgrounds, not like these little backgrounds, like the backgrounds that tells me every car that someone's ever owned, every home someone's ever owned, freaking mortgage payment, everything. It's only law enforcement and private investigators can get it. So I'm not sure I would believe this, guys. Just my opinion. Just me. So that's the people's talking about the Puerto Rico. 226 East Burrow Street, Tucson, 2026 to 2026. And as much Nancy Guthrie stuff is out there on the internet, and the craziness that has went on in this case, I would not trust a report like this as of now. I just wouldn't trust a report like this now, in my opinion, because there's so much Guthrie. It's kind of like the AI, like you can type in something about Nancy, but because it picks it up on various websites, it might give you the wrong information. And the craziness that has went on with this case, this website, this background may have picked something up from something that has nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie, but someone just put something out there. Yeah, I wouldn't. So I personally wouldn't believe that if I were you. What's up? Thank you for the 250 gems, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much, my dear. Good to see you. Yeah. So the Puerto Rico thing, I wouldn't take it to the bank. I'll just say that. 1,000%. 1,000%. There's so much misinformation in this case. So much that not holy hell, it's 12:30. Okay, guys, we might do another Nancy live tomorrow because I've not been able to get through everything here tonight, but we'll see. If you have anything on this case, please send it to me. You can send tips in to me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can text me anything you find in this case or any other case at 307-228-4906. Text me a link, whatever. You can also email me alljustice, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. You will be 1 billion % anonymous. My mods can tell you being anonymous is very, very important in the business that I do, and I don't leak anything. I promise you that. So, all right, guys, get some rest wherever you guys are at. Here on the East Coast, it's 12:30 in the morning. Hold on one second. Okay. Gotcha. Take good care of yourselves. I didn't work on it, but they got the info from my ex, and Adam gave me credit, and Shayna, I got it from Shannon too. I don't know what you mean, Libby. I might have missed your comment above. Thank you, Lily. Good to see you all. Thank you guys so much for joining me. He gets justice soon. It's been a long, it feels like it's been longer than 6 months, 7 months. It really does. Thank you, Cindy. Yes, please hype this video after this live stream. And if you would do that, if you would make sure you hit that thumbs up, share the live out, and if you would comment down below after this live stream, hashtag justice for Nancy, hashtag hello Justin, anything, hey, emoji, a middle finger, I don't care. I'm not hard to please. Okay, so just anything helps. It really helps the channel very much. So love you guys. Take good care of yourselves. I'm not Kels. All right, guys. Love you all. Get some rest, everyone. You only get so many trips around the sun. Good night.